Hello friends, welcome to my channel Click and Design, and in this video tutorial we are going to create a braking job in SolidWorks Sheetmetal. As you can see on the screen, we have this picture over here. This is the sketch from the client and you can see the side view of the sheet metal plate. This is basically a bracket. So this is a side view and this is the front view, and you can see both of the edges are 6 and 6 inches. Okay, and here we have some holes, and the diameter of the holes is specified over here in the bottom, and this is the orientation of the holes from the bottom, that is 3 inches. And also we have been given the sheet thickness, that is 1/4 inches. So let's get started. So for that, to create this braking job in SolidWorks, let's open SolidWorks. So here we have SolidWorks. For starting the braking job in sheet metal, first of all we have to go to File, click on New and select the part. From here you can select the front plane and click on Sketch, and now use line command to create a L shape. So here we have this. Now we have to define the dimensions of the two edges, that is 6 and 6 inches, 6 inches, and also here we have 6 inches, same. So this is basically the side view of the sheet metal. Let's convert this sketch into a sheet metal object. For that, let's exit the sketch, and here we have the sheet metal. In the sheet metal toolbox we have base flange tab. Select this base flange tab and you can see the sketch has been selected. So let's first of all orient the sketch normal to the screen, and you can see the sheet metal mass has been created outwards, but for the present situation we want the mass to be inwards. For that, in the sheet metal parameters we have this reverse direction. So over here we have to click over here. So just select the reverse direction and the mass will be added inwards. Now next we have the bend radius. In the braking jobs, the thickness of the sheet metal and the inward bending radius should be equal. Typically we use this procedure in the practice, so both of these parameters should be equal. Now you can see this is perfect. Now let's give the length to this particular object. So let's go back to the sketch. Here we have the sketch, and you can see this is the length of the object, that is equal to 8 inches. So let's specify the length to be 8 inches. So here we have direction 1 to be 8 inches. Okay, now after selecting the parameters, in the sheet metal parameters we have sheet metal gauges. Here we have to check on use gauge table. So check on this use gauge table and you will see the menu over here. So from here we have this drop down menu. So in this drop down menu you have to select the particular table for this object. In this case I am going to select bend allowance inches sample. So this is I'm going to select, and now SolidWorks will select the steel air bending procedure, or you can say the process for this particular job. Now in the sheet metal parameters, as you can see, we have now some different gauges for this particular table. For this thickness, what we have over here in this object, that is 1/4 inches. So gauge 1/4, it is a perfect gauge. So we have selected the gauge here, and now coming over to the next, we have bend allowance. Here we have to select the gauge table. So the gauge table has been selected. Now you can see everything is fine now. So after selecting all these parameters, we have to just click on OK. Again, I want to repeat that in the sheet metal gauges we have to check on use gauge table, and we have to select the bend along inches because this drawing was given to us in inches, or if the drawing was given to us in mm. So here we have bend along millimeters. So in this way you can select the particular table accordingly, and from the sheet metal parameters you have to select the specific gauge. As we know, the thickness of the job was 1/4 inches, so the gauge 4 will match. And reverse direction, as you know, we want to add the mass inside of the sketch, so that's why we chose reverse direction. The inner bend radius should be equal to the thickness of the job sheet metal job. Now again, next we have bend alongs. Here we will select the gauge table. Okay, now in the end we'll click on OK. So after some calculations, the sheet metal job has been created, as you can see. Now we are left with the holes. As you can see, this is the front view, and we have 2 holes over here, and these holes are located at 3 inches from the bottom, and the gap between the holes is 4 inches, and the location of this first hole from the side edge is 2 inches. So considering all these parameters, let's create these holes. So this is the phase where we have to create the holes. So just click on this phase, click on sketch, and automatically we will have this face over here. So select the circle, create 2 holes. Now select both of the holes using control key from the keyboard and give the constraint equal. And now using smart dimension, specify the dimension. That was 13/16, the standard size. So the diameters of these holes are defined. Now we have to define the gap between the 2 holes. For that, again, smart dimension, choose the center, first center and the second center, and here you have to define the gap. That was 4 inches. Click on enter. Now from the edge the gap was 2 inches, so it is here. Now vertically we have to also provide the dimension, or you can say the constraint. So just select the bottom edge and select the center of this first circle on the right side and define the dimension. That was 4 inches. Okay, so now these 2 circles are not aligned horizontally. As you can see, this circle is moving freely vertically. So for this we have to select both the centers and select the constraint to be horizontal. So the sketch is black, so it means it is constraint from every point of view. So after creating the sketch, we have to go to the sheet metal, and here we have extrude cut. Using the extrude cut, from the direction we have to select through all and click on OK. So the part has been created in the sheet metal, the bricking job basically, and the features are also created. Now to create the DFX file for this present object, first of all let's orient the object. So here we have this orientation of this object. Now after giving the orientation, this is the front view. Let's go to the file and click on make drawing from part. First of all we have to save it. Let's save it on the desktop. So let's save it, part 1, save. And I have a customized sheet over here in the menu. So in the bottom I have this custom sheet. Select the sheet, click on OK. So as you can see, here we have this sheet over here, and now in the right side in the menu we have all the views related to the object. First of all we'll place the current view. So this is the current view what we have. Now go to drawings, projected view, select the command projected view, select the view and create one more view, that is the side view. And after creating both the views, Let's bring the flat pattern. So in the right menu, you will see over here we have this flat pattern in the list. So just drag and drop it over to the drawing sheet. Now in the front view, let's right click and select tangent edge and select tangent edge removed. So the edges which are tangent has been removed. I did this basically to reduce the chances of errors. So now all the irrelevant edges are removed. So now let's go to the dimensioning part. First of all, let's go to annotation, smart dimension. Now I will show you how to create dimensions for the breaking job DFX files. So here we have the flat pattern for the DFX laser cutting. Okay, so now let's select the edge over here and the inner edge and specify this dimension on the bottom. Again, if to see again, select this edge and select the internal edge. Now with the help of this semicircle yellow colored, we can place the dimension at the bottom. Now again select the same edge and the outer edge this time, and again place the dimension downwards. Same we will do with this edge over here, outer edge, and now again this inner edge. Okay, so these dimensions has been specified. Soon I will tell you why I am specifying all these dimensions. It is very much important to specify these dimensions. So let's do some more dimensionings. Again, smart dimension. Now we'll specify the thickness of the sheet, that is 1 by 4 inches. Now also we have to specify the bend radius. So here we have the bend radius, that is 1 by 4 inches. Go to leaders, custom text position, and okay. So you can see we have defined the bend radius, the thickness, the length of the edges. Now here we have the front view. Over here again, smart dimension, we have to specify the orientation of the holes. Select the hole on the left and specify the dimension. Specify the height of the object, the length. Now we have to specify the distance between the holes. Okay, now one thing more, I need to specify the diameter of the edges. Okay, now this is done, this is done, and we are left with this with the dimensioning of the flat pattern. Over here in the flat pattern, you can see we have some instructions for the bending, but we don't have the bending line for the flat pattern. To get this bending line in the view, we have to go to view, and here we have hide show. From here you have to select bend lines, and so here we have this bend line over here. Now one thing you can do is again go to the smart dimension, select the outer edge and this bending line, and specify the dimension on the right side. Again the bottom edge, the bending line, and here we have the dimension. Now specify the total length and this also. So both of the lengths has been specified. So in the flat pattern we have specified the lengths. As you can see in this flat pattern, I have defined the outer edges, that is the 8 inches and 11 7 by 16. This I have done because it will make easy for us to determine the area of the sheet metal to be used to create this object. Okay, so this much area we need to create this object over here. So I have specified the length. Now one thing more which is very important for the breaking job, as we have this flat pattern over here on the right side and the object on the left side. So as you can see, we have this length 5 3 by 4 and 5 3 by 4. This is the inner edges, and it should match with the inner edges of the object. As you can see over here we have 5 3/4 inches, 5 3/4 inches, and also we have 5 3/4 and 5 3/4 inches. So these dimensions should match. It means that our flat pattern is totally matching to the requirements of the object what we want. So it will not create any more wastage of material or any error afterwards. So to make sure that everything is perfect, we have to match the inner edges. So these are equal, that means everything is okay. So the drawing is created, and here we have the flat pattern. So we can save the flat pattern as DFX file for the metal cutting processes. So the flat pattern has been created perfectly. So if you want, you can remove the crosshairs from here. So here we have the DFX file. So here we have the flat pattern, and we can save this flat pattern as DFX format for the laser cutting processes. To do that, just simply go to File and Save As. From the Save As type, you have to select DFX and save. So after saving this drawing as DFX, let's open the DFX file. For that, let's go to the desktop, and here we have this DFX file. So the DFX file has been opened. Now you can see the edges over here and here. Let's cross check the length of the edges. As you can see here, we have this 8 inches, the length of this edge. So let's cross check. For that, we have this measure tool over here. Select the measure tool and select the edge, and you can see length is 8 inches. It means that all the lengths are matching to the dimensions, and the DFX file has been created. That is perfect, and it can be easily used for the laser cutting processes. So I hope you got something to learn from this video tutorial. If you like this video, please hit like, share, and subscribe to my channel Click and Design. Thank you very much.